For every manager who is truly loved, there is one who is truly hated. And there is no surprise that Mourinho fits into the second category perfectly. But you might ask how a European champion like Mourinho can be one of the most hated managers in football. From winning the Champions League with an underdog team like Porto in 2004, to winning it again in 2010 with Inter Milan, to never losing a single home game in 9 years. There's no denying that he is one of the greatest managers of our time. But what does it take? Some might say sports are about fair play. For Mourinho, sports are about winning. He wasn't there to make friends or entertain fans. He was there to win. From his enormous ego to his trash talking and his reputation for ruining players' careers, he has certainly made quite a controversial character of himself. Back in March 13, 2005, during the Champions League tie between Barcelona and Chelsea, Mourinho falsely accused top referee Anders Frisk of talking to Barcelona's manager Frank Rijkaard at halftime, suggesting this influenced Frisk's decision to send off Didier Drogba in the second half. Barcelona went on to defeat Chelsea 2-1. This led to multiple death threats towards Frisk and forced his retirement. Later on, he stated, "I have been subjected to things that I couldn't even imagine. I love refereeing, and I've done it since 1978. But what has happened to me over the last 16 days means it is not worth continuing. I won't ever go out on a football pitch again. I am too scared. It is not worth it. I've had enough. I don't even know if I dare let my kids go to the post office." Then, in 2011, while coaching Real Madrid, Mourinho falsely accused goalkeeper Iker Casillas of being a mole and being a friend of the press. Another claim by Mourinho without any proof. Mourinho benched him for Antonio Adán. Some might say it was for personal reasons, rather than professional reasons. It's fair to say that at every club he has been to, he has made an enemy of a player to show the dressing room that he is the boss. From calling Arsene Wenger a specialist in failure, to becoming the manager with the most red card, to calling himself the special one, he certainly doesn't shy away from showing his ego or his passion for the game. Then we have the man who's quite the opposite of having an ego, Jurgen Klopp. Does anyone really need to ask why he's so loved? From rejecting the offer to take over Manchester United after Sir Alex Ferguson to arriving at Liverpool in 2015, Klopp inherited a team that had finished 8th in the Premier League, and the rest is history. He is the only manager in Liverpool's history to win 6 different major trophies. From the Premier League to the Champions League, he has done it all. But it's Klopp's off-field actions that have made him the loved figure he is today. From his charismatic personality, connection with the fans, and authenticity. In 2020, 11-year-old Lewis Balfe wrote to Klopp about his anxiety over starting secondary school. The man that Klopp is took his time out of the day to respond. "You asked me what I do when my players feel this way, and the answer is simple. I remind them of how important they are to me and how much I believe in them, and I have no doubt that it will be the same for you and your family." Our world could certainly benefit from more people like Klopp. However, on January 26, 2024, Liverpool fans were both shocked and saddened when Klopp announced he would be leaving the club at the end of the season.
Yeah, I have to. I will leave the club at the end of the season.
From success to disaster, we need to talk about the man currently managing Manchester United, Erik ten Hag. Ten Hag arrived at Manchester in 2022 with a reputation for attractive football earned during his time at Ajax. But as most of us have seen, he has not lived up to any expectations, as he might be considered the worst modern manager Manchester United has had to this day. Could the job of managing a club such as United be out of his depth? And there is no secret that his post-match interviews haven't helped his relationship with fans. After the game against Coventry, when asked about the performance and reaching the FA Cup final, he answered,
Because at the end of the day, it's about the achievement. And I see the mistakes we make We can't look away from it. But it's not an embarrassment. It's, as I say, it's a huge achievement.
A game where United's performance after the 60th minute was horrible, conceding 3 cheap goals in 30 minutes and almost losing in extra time when a Coventry winner was ruled out by VAR. It was, quite literally, an embarrassment, if words can even describe it. But then we have others asking the question, might the issue at United run deeper than the manager? Perhaps fans have a blame the coach mindset, rather than taking a second look at the players or the management. It's difficult to pinpoint a specific reason for United's results, but as things stand, Ten Hag is far from being the most loved manager. While we're on the topic of Manchester United, we can't forget to mention the one and only Sir Alex Ferguson. Widely admired for transforming United into a global powerhouse. Taking over in 1986, Ferguson built a dynasty based on youth development, with brilliant signings such as Cristiano Ronaldo, and a mentality to win. His 26-year journey at United brought 13 Premier League and 2 Champions League titles, which made him the best manager in the club's history, and perhaps the greatest the world has ever seen. But what made him so special? It was his relationship with his players. He knew how to get the best out of every player in every scenario. He had the perfect amount of respect, discipline, understanding, and control. Combined with his understanding of the absolute fundamentals of the game to the most intricate, and turned them into master plans, and you can't ever question his football IQ. You don't dominate for that long without. The man knew all there was to know about bringing a group together and making it just work. On the 8th of May 2013, Ferguson left behind a legacy that can arguably never be surpassed, and that's why he is still loved to this day. But the same can't really be said about our next manager, Gareth Southgate. Football's coming home? Well, not with him as their manager. Despite leading England to the Euro 2020 final, fans feel that the team underperformed under Southgate. He has a cautious approach, particularly in major tournaments. He is straight up not aggressive or brave enough. Managing a team like England full of stars, from Bellingham, Foden, and Harry Kane to Saka, is no easy task. Everyone has high expectations, and when things don't go as planned, someone is always blamed, and in this case, it's Southgate. During the Euros, many fans were unhappy with his decisions. From the starting 11 to the changes made during the game, it made fans question whether Southgate really knew how to get the best out of each player. A player that deserved more playing time was Cole Palmer, always starting on the bench but scoring every time he got on the pitch. Who knows, maybe the results would be different if he started. I guess we will find out in the World Cup in 2026, but this time without Southgate as he stepped down as England's manager after the defeat to Spain in the Euros. And last but not least, we have a manager no one can hate, Carlo Ancelotti. How can you not love him? Well, maybe if he's won against your club, something he's likely done, as he has a total of 5 Champions League titles and won the domestic league in 5 different countries. Ancelotti is a genius, plain and simple. His tactics are brilliant, and he knows exactly how to get the best out of his players. From managing Real Madrid from 2013 to 2015, with superstars like Ronaldo, Bale, and Benzema, to returning in 2021, to do it again with stars such as Bellingham, Mbappe, and Vini. One can't question him as a top manager. But what's perhaps his greatest achievement? It's his ability to keep players like that down to earth, managing egos. The size of his players is no easy task, but it's not a task Ancelotti can't handle.